The Indus Valley civilization. The funny part is that this is a big site, right? You can see how complex it is.
Yeah.
They had no historical evidence of that. There's no text. It was not mentioned in any books. It was
Really?
Not, yep. It was found as an accident. They found it by accident, right? They were not searching for this. Nobody knew this existed, right? So they found it. They thought the you see that big structure over there on the top? It looks like a dome. They thought it was a Buddhist stupa, and they tried to excavate it, and they realized it's a big city.
No,
right?
So that's where it started. And they kept digging. They found all that.
Yeah, a Buddhist monk took I think it was a British guy, and they said, "Look, here's an old Buddhist stupa." And then they found a flint scraper. Do you know what that is? Like a small little flintstone.
Yeah.
To scrape the skin of animals. It's called a flint scraper.
Yeah.
In archaeology. So he found a flint scraper, and then he said, "Oh, wow, this must be a very ancient site." So he excavated this. And then they don't even know the real name of that place, okay? This is called Mohenjo-daro.
There's no text to corroborate this place.
Not from outside. We found the script inside.
Inside.
But if you had how do we know Rome was really great? Because everybody wrote about this.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody wrote about Rome. Others wrote about Rome. We have Greeks talking about Egypt, right? But so when a great civilization like this existed, others should have written about this, but there's no evidence from outside. So people were not searching for the Indus Valley, and they found it by accident, actually. And what was the funny story I was going to... And you know what? And they don't know the name of this place either, right? They don't know the original name of Mohenjo-daro. So you know what Mohenjo-daro means? That's just a name given by the locals.
No, what does it mean?
It means it means the mounds of the dead.
Mounds of the dead, huh? Wow.
Yep. Because
Why did the locals call it that? They thought it was tombs?
No,
Where they find dead bodies in there?
Crazy story, man. This is too much of a conspiracy theory.
It's a conspiracy theory. Oh God, now I need it. I need you to inject that into my veins. They didn't find any organic material buried in there with all that stuff?
They found skeletons.
They found skeletons?
Yep.
From the same age? From thousands of years?
The dating is very hard because now the Pakistani government has to date it.
Yeah. Tell me that conspiracy about the dead. The what'd you call it?
Mound of the
Mound
dead.
of the dead.
Yeah. So, I should tell you this, huh?
You should tell me this. Oh,
Okay.
yes.
So according to ancient texts, Rama, Lord Rama. This is in a text called Ramayana. Okay, Lord Rama kind of initiates a weapon. This is almost a nuclear weapon. Okay, and he's initiated this, and then they decide that they want to. They don't want it nuking a city, right? So they put it in a place called Drumatulya, right? And these places, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, are found in those places that's mentioned in ancient texts. Okay, so what did they find in these sites in the Indus Valley civilization? They found very high levels of radiation.
Really?
Yep. They found very high levels of radiation. They also found that the rocks were vitrified. They thought they found glass at first, but the rocks had turned into almost like glass. It's called vitrification of rock.
Right.
Okay, and that only happens when you put it through extremely high temperatures at a very rapid pace. You have to push it to very high temperature in a very quick time span. If you do that, then the rocks will turn into glass. Yep. Okay, it's called vitrification of stone. And they found skeletons in a weird situation or something like that. So some are saying, I think there was one guy who wrote
Here.
here in Indus Valley, in Mohenjo-daro specifically.
I've heard of this. I think I saw something about this recently.
Yes. So they're saying that there was an ancient nuclear bomb that went off in Mohenjo-daro.
Type in skeletons after Mohenjo-daro. Wow. Look at that pit of them.
Yeah.
And there's one laying there in the middle just by itself. So the theory is, oh my God, that's fucking crazy.
It looks like a parent with kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's I think this book details that these are not burials, right? You're not going to bury 3 people like this.
It was like a massacre.
Happened, yes, this happened instantly, like when a bomb exploded in this.
Type in massacre instead of skeletons. There you go. Okay, there's a set of stairs with the skeletons just laying right on the stairs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so these clearly aren't burials. People that just happened to die here.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So something happened that incinerated the face of the earth right here.
Mm-hmm.
Because they found the vitrified glass.
Yeah, they found, so the guy who wrote the book, he talked about the skeletons and how you can see that these are not buried, right? These are just, you don't bury people on stairs.
Right.
So it happened there, and they found very high levels of radiation
Mm-hmm.
and they found vitrification of stone. And you can also find this evidence in ancient Indian texts. So they're saying that there was an atom bomb that went off thousands of years ago in Mohenjo-daro. And they're saying that explains why we never hear about the Indus Valley civilization, why it was just not there.
Couldn't it have been something else, like a cosmic impact or something, or a solar flare or something that came and just like...
Could be. I'm not saying that this is exactly what happened, but
Right.
I'm saying, is this what it is?
Mm-hmm. Something definitely happened. I mean, it's clear something happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, what are the chances of them having an atomic bomb?
Yeah.
What,
See,
4,000 years ago?
Yeah, they're talking about 5,000 years ago.
There's no
in
writings.
Mahabharata.
There's no writings about ancient atom bombs.
There is.
There is.
So it's called the Brahmastra. That's the most common weapon that most people in India know about. It's called the Brahmastra. Brahmastra. Yeah.
Okay.
So you typically deploy the Brahmastra. It just destroys the entire city. It just completely destroys the whole city. There's and they explain how the devastation looks, right? They talk about how high the temperature goes, how it looked like a sun when the explosion happened, how all the vegetation was completely wiped off and there were no plants or trees growing for the next 12 to 25 years. They talked about how the people were all killed immediately. They talk about how the future generations had diseases. It's very similar.
Oh my God. And then I just remembered that Oppenheimer's quote came from the Bhagavad Gita, right? Destroyer, I am become death.
Yes. He said that.
So he knew about this.
Well, some people say that. But we don't. It would be quite a coincidence if Oppenheimer just randomly quoted.
Right.
But Bhagavad Gita is a part of that text, Mahabharata.
Right.
Yep,
right.
Yes. Do you know how many newspaper clippings are there that talk about giant skeletons found in the U.S.?
No.
Oh, you don't know?
How many?
Oh my God, thousands.
Really?
Yep. Newspaper clippings of giant skeletons found in the U.S. We got thousands.
And why it was? You're saying that it was hidden?
Yeah. Yeah, there are books written about those. There, if you just Google newspaper clippings, you can still find. I've posted a few. We can find thousands. Google used to have. You can just go to images.
Go
Probably
to images.
you've probably find a lot. Yeah, there you go. These are all real newspaper clippings. These are not doctored. These are real newspaper clippings.
And these were so giant human-like skeletons were found up close to, recent as 100 years ago when giants roamed. Okay.
Yeah, the newspaper clippings are like 100 years old.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you typically look at like newspapers published 100 years ago, they're always publishing, oh, we found giant skeletons when they excavated this mound, right? All over. We're not talking about one state. We're not talking about one newspaper company. We're saying this is found. Yeah, look at that. 1919, 18 feet tall, Austin, Texas. You'll
June
find
14th.
them. You'll find them in Florida. You'll find them in California. You'll find them everywhere. Right? But where are they now? Why are they not found?
Right. Yeah. Why? Why do you think? Why do you think it's not talked about now?
What do you think will happen if they do talk about it now?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why? Why?
If you're an archaeologist and you do find a giant skeleton, right, 10 feet tall, would you tell this to the world?
Hell yeah, I would.
You wouldn't. You would be out of that archaeology degree and your position in a week. If you do,
If I came out and I made the
they
world
would kick you out.
aware of a 16-foot tall skeleton,
You would become the next Edward Snowden. You'd have to run out. You'd become the next Julian Assange. At least you'd become the next Graham Hancock, right? They would ostracize you, man. If you come out like that, if you find the evidence of a 10-foot tall giant, and if you do tell the public, you are going to be kicked out of your archaeological job and your degree, and you would be called a pseudoscientist and a conspiracy theorist, and you'd be ostracized. That's what's going to happen to you if you do that, right? Look, what do people say? Let's say you did spot a UFO, right? Right? And if you do, let's say you even took a video of this, and if you come out and say, I spotted a UFO, this is the evidence, 50% of the people are going to call you a liar.
right? But 50% are also going to believe. I think probably maybe a little bit more nowadays.
Yes, but that's only because you're a regular guy. But what happens if you're a pilot flying an airplane? You'd be kicked out of your job. But yeah,
You think?
I would think.
Even the pilots that came out and talked about the UFOs, they didn't
They're-
get fired.
Maybe. But see, there are.
They got definitely questioned.
Yeah. Look, I mean, look, there are instances. I forgot the name of that guy who came out and he talked about giant skeletons. He was an archaeologist. And that guy was called a liar and he was fired. Yeah.
What year was that?
I don't know. But I could
And we're
probably
saying
find
giant. That thing's not really giant. That one that we just looked at. But like you're saying that one said there were 16 footers. Like that picture right there, that's nuts.
A lot of these-
No,
That's Photoshopped, right?
not that.
No, this is a real photo. In
This is a real photo.
1761.
Yeah, but that could easily be. I mean, Yao Ming's that tall.
That's gigantism.
Yeah.
If you really want to know about the giant skeletons, you have to search giant mound builders. Oh, you got to see
skeletons.
skeletons here. Oh, sorry.
Giant mound builder. Look at that. That's fake, right?
With
That's
modern
fake.
AI, you can,
Yeah.
No, that was there even before AI.
this is that same photo.
That's
It was like a
that's in the
dwarf.
medical museum, I think.
Yeah, and then, yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never heard of this. I've definitely never heard of this.
There's an entire book written by Jim Vieira and Hugh Newman. They talk about giant mound builders of America. This Jim Vieira. He's in Boston, Massachusetts. And he talked about the giant mound builders, and he came on a TED Talk, man. And
Really?
that TED Talk was banned.
No way.
Yeah, it was banned. You know this.
Why would they ban it? It seems like it's a fun thing to talk about. I don't understand. I don't understand how the deep state would be offended by giants or reptilians. Well, maybe reptilians, because it's probably reptilians running the whole thing, right?
Well, that'd be a stretch, but I'm saying that, you know.
Damn it. Yeah. The Giants thing is weird. What? Like why? Like what?
Look at that. That's really interesting.
What is it?
If you go to Wikipedia, right,
Giant
giant
human
skeletons
click on it,
reported in
yeah.
the U.S. right are a combination of hoaxes, scams,
And fabrications.
and the misidentifications of extinct megafauna. Right, but now if you go and if you say Pittsburgh giant skeletons newspaper.
More than 10,000. Oh.
Probably deleted even off of YouTube. And if you go to image, there you go.
Images, okay.
Yep.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Relief
Parlay, not yet fixed.
Not that one.
That's the wrong one.
Not that one.
Skeletons of giants
Yep.
found.
There you go.
There's one. Pittsburgh.
PA, 2 petrified skeletons, one of a man of giant stature and other of a woman somewhat smaller, were found in a cavern blasted out.
Click on that 2 giant skeletons. That's probably me. Yeah. There you go. Click on that. That result is even deleted from YouTube, man. That's me, by the way. And look at that.
Of giant mound builders who lived centuries ago.
Wow.
And you know,
10,000
look,
years ago?
Look below.
I'm Praveen.
49 skeletons
Yeah,
found.
and look at the text below. That's a real newspaper clipping that I took from Google newspapers. There used to be Google used to archive all the newspapers. I think it's gone now.
This is not just an isolated
But that's a real newspaper clipping that says 49 skeletons found. And you know who did the excavation? It was done by an archaeologist.
in a newspaper called
Really?
Yep, that's a real newspaper, man. If people say, "Oh, this is a hoax or it's fabricated," they can go because I mentioned the date, I mentioned the newspaper. They can go there.
And you can find this.
Yep.
clearly says one skeleton is nearly
They sure are good at covering stuff up, man.
Well, I mean, this is a theory, right? Unless you want to say, "Oh,
Is this video suppressed on YouTube?
I don't think so. Usually my videos won't come up unless you search for them. But you can see this is like 49 skeletons.
prevent commotion. Here,
That's a lot.
That's a state archaeologist, right? I show this and I say, "Oh, this is G.S. Fisher."
What is the idea about the giant skeletons? What how do they tie into all this stuff?
I don't know. Well,
Where do you think they came from? Like what time do you think they came from? If they're real, which according to these newspapers that they are.
they're just
When do you think they lived?
giants. They're just a subspecies of humans, I think. Well, mentioned in the Bible as Nephilim.
Nephilim, yeah.
And Raphaim and other. You know this? They're
The
like
Nephilim,
multiple.
well, the Nephilim and the Anunnaki, I think they come
and
from
there's also
Sumerian
like
tablets.
Raphaim mentioned in the Bible, I think, and there's other in Hindu texts also. They're mentioned, and they're kind of they're a combination of humans and other species, and they're giant. And it was once believed. You know this, right? This is the funny part. You know who spoke about the giants building the mounds of America? Abraham Lincoln. Google it.
Really? Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, Abraham Lincoln was as big a conspiracy theory as I am, man. John, there you go. The eyes of that species of extinct giants, whose bones fill the mounds of America, have gazed on Niagara as ours do now. Abraham Lincoln, 1848. Okay?
So Abraham Lincoln believed the giants were real. They were an
Yep.
extinct subspecies of humans.
Yep. He believed that the giants built the mounds of America, right? No matter what Wikipedia tells you today, unless they want to say Abraham Lincoln was trying to spread fake news,
He was a
right?
conspiracy theorist.
That's a direct quote from Abraham Lincoln, right? The eyes of that species of extinct giants whose bones fill the mounds of America.
It was common knowledge in the United States in the 1800s that there were burial mounds at numerous sites containing the bones of giant humans. Even Abraham Lincoln mentioned this in one of his speeches given at Niagara Falls.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep. Video deleted, huh? That's
Video
nice.
deleted. YouTube said, no, no, no. We're not going to be talking about giants today. In your experience, what has been like the most mind-bending temple structure that you visited in your home country?
There are lots. There's one temple called the Kailasa Temple, which is a very famous temple. It's built out of one rock. It's a large temple. It has multiple
Oh, that's the one
floors.
that's carved out of the mountain.
Yep.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. That is probably one of the most insane things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So explain to people what, like, so there's a giant stone. What is it? Is it granite? Is it like a granite mountain?
Yeah, it's made of igneous rocks. Yep. Similar
And-
to granite.
And people basically, it's like a negative relief temple. Like people just carved out the negative space out of this temple.
Yes.
And there's something like 200,000 tons of stone that was removed.
Yep. Originally, when I first, and this is, I think I visited this temple in 2013. I was still in the U.S. at that time. I would go back to India for a month. I was looking at all the temples. I would come back, right? When I first saw this temple, I said, "There's no way that a temple could be built this way. This is just weird, right?" So I started to study the temple more and more. And I realized how crazy it is. It's not humanly possible to build a structure like that. Right? They should have used advanced technology because it is carved out of a single hill. Like it's just a giant. It's not a real. I wouldn't say it's a mountain.
How do you pronounce the name?
Kailasa?
Can you pull that up, Steve? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Let's see here.
Yeah. So if you see, the way you carve it, it's not like you have to carve the.
You had
It's a
it. That was it,
different
Steve.
Yeah, I'm not going to get more images.
Oh.
Here we go.
Yeah. So you had to carve. You have to scoop out the rocks. Like for example, you see that kind of like they call it the pillar, but it should remind you of an obelisk. Mm-hmm. Right. So you don't carve an obelisk, right? Normally, if I tell you let's make an obelisk, like they have an obelisk in Washington D.C.
Yeah.
You know this? They put rocks they put bricks or rocks from the ground level. They keep going up, right?
Right.
This is the normal construction technique.
Right.
But to create an obelisk like this, you have to carve everything around it. Okay, that's. I wonder why. Anybody ever wondered why they made an obelisk in Washington D.C.?
I don't know the answer to that. But why did they make it? Do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, you'll see a lot of ancient Egyptian details in Washington D.C.
Really?
Yep, lots.
Did you know that the Statue of Liberty is supposed to be Prometheus?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. People think Google Statue of Liberty Prometheus.
Oh, I did not know that, man.
The people
That's
that originally
really
made the
interesting.
Statue of Liberty, they were some sort of ancient Greek cult.
Look at this one here.
But yeah, no, if you look at the face and all the little details, it's
I guess that was it.
it's Prometheus. Go to click on all. Click on all. There should be a list of things, a list of
Do you really think
go to all
it was-
next to images. Yeah, all. Keep going. The story of Prometheus sculpture.
This man ship. The man ship. Prometheus and Statue of
There you
Liberty.
go. You click on that and then
No,
see if they have
that's
like a
it.
list of no, click like the description.
Oh, it's just an image. Oh wait, this file contains.
That's really interesting. Do you really think it's based on Prometheus?
Yeah, well, we can't find it right now, but there was a whole video that Giorgiani did talking about Jason Giorgiani talking about the people that actually made the people that constructed the Statue of Liberty. That's what they were doing. They were creating something to resemble Prometheus. The people that built the Statue of Liberty, they were in some sort of like group.
Wow.
And that was the goal of the Statue of Liberty, was to create Prometheus. And they're actually working on a new statue.
Yeah, the founding fathers were really interesting people. They did all these ancient, and that's why they put, these obelisks and all these symbols.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the guy? Who was the guy that was one of the founding fathers that was like really into Plato? Ahmed mentioned him. You don't remember who I'm talking about, Steve?
Father into Plato.
Oh my God, no, he doesn't remember. Fuck
No.
it. I can't remember anything. But yeah, what were we talking about before this? Oh, we're talking about the temple.
The temple.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to carve around this, right? So all these people who were standing
Thomas
there,
Jefferson. That's who it was. Thomas Jefferson was really into ancient Greek. Yeah. So all of this basically was this was all one rock, and they carved out all of the negative space to create this.
Yes.
There's nothing else like this on the earth, is there? At least
there
this
are.
the size.
Maybe
there are not this size, yes.
Right.
So I think this was the prototype. Mm-hmm. And that created, there are structures like this in India, but I think this was the first one that was created with this kind of negative, like top-down approach. I don't think. Wow. Yep. And then there are temples, smaller temples, modeled after this. Right? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There are smaller temples modeled after this.
So conventional archaeologists, when you ask them about this, what is the understanding of how long it took them to build it, when they think it was built or carved out, and what were the tools that they say were used to create this?
If you talk to mainstream historians or archaeologists, they're going to say, the dates vary, but they will say it's about 1,200 to 1,400 years old.
Okay.
And they were carved using chisels, hammers, pickaxes, simple metal tools.
Would that have been possible?
We don't know. I don't think so. Well, you could do it, right? Like, for example, you could make the entire studio with just using simple tools. But the question is, did you?
Yeah, would it be practical?
Yeah.
And how long would it take?
Right. So this is a thing that people fail to question, right? Just because I can, right? Just because you can make this table with simple tools, did you? Mm-hmm. No,
Right.
you probably used all sorts of like cutting power tools, etc. Right? We don't know. The question is it possible to build it with chisels and hammers and maybe millions of people and then like a century? Yeah, it's possible. But how do we know if that's how they did it? That's the question.
How long do they say that it took to build this?
We don't know that for sure. Some people, if there's an official plaque on site, they keep changing that. Because when I made the video, it became, and this is one of the first videos which kind of became viral from my channel at that time. When I posted it, and I think I was the first one who documented this temple. And it was in 2013 or 14. And at that time, it got like 25,000, 30,000 views in like a week or something. It was like big at that time. You remember those times? When if you get like 10,000 views, that's like a miracle.
Oh, yeah.
So at that time, and in my video, I actually show a screenshot. Luckily for me, right? I show a screenshot from Wikipedia that says 400,000 tons of rock were removed, or 800,000 tons of rocks were removed to create the Kailasa temple. And since then, people have modified that Wikipedia page so many times. Because I mean, I got lucky. I guess I posted a screenshot because it says the time and everything from Wikipedia, right? But since then, now they're saying that oh no, only 200,000 tons. But remember, these are all like
Trying to say it was easier.
guesstimations, right?
Right.
So they kind of now they're like, oh, this is a big controversy. So how do we minimize this to prove that it was easy to create with primitive tools?
Right.
Like rather than really looking at it. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure in another country they'd be like, wow, this is amazing. Let's announce it as a world wonder, right? But in India, they're like, oh, let's kind of minimize that. So it seems simpler to create. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah. So who in India is in charge of declaring when they were made, who made them, and how they were made? Is it similar to Egypt? How like the Department of Antiquities with the Zahi Hawass and all this stuff, they're controlling this narrative that clearly everyone is against. How does that work in India?
Well, we have an archaeological survey of India. This is the archaeological department of India, and probably there's some head there. And then we have a historical department and all that stuff. They're now looking at it. It's not as bad as Egypt.
Oh, really?
Yep, it's not as bad as Egypt, and we got to give them credit for trying. But but I have to say that it's impossible to date a megalithic structure.
Right.
Right? It's just impossible. Yeah. There's no way to date that. So how do we actually date a temple like this? What would you do? Right? If you're an archaeologist, how would you start?
I mean, you'd have to find the any kind of organic material or remains inside it and try to use that.
Yep.
Maybe take carving, like if there were hieroglyphs in there or something like that that depicted any sort of kings or gods, maybe.
Yeah. So what happened was in a typical temple, right? They would find some organic material. They'd find some like burnt bones or something like that, right? Then they would date that. And they'd be like, this was built 500 years ago.
Right.
But we don't know if somebody was cooking something 500 years ago
right.
inside the temple.
Same thing with the pyramids, right?
Oh.
No, look at this crazy big structure. I'm going to put my dead grandma in there.
Yeah. Same. Look, and the paintings, right? So sometimes in India, they're like, oh, look, we are able to look at the paintings are made of vegetables in India. They take all like different kind of vegetables, put them together, and create paint, and they paint on the carvings.
Right.
So we can date that organic material. So they look at the paint, the vegetable stuff, and they be like, oh, this is like 600 years old, but
Couldn't
I can
paint it after.
Yeah, like I'll paint my house now.
Right.
Doesn't
Yeah. It's been painted 100,000 times.
Yeah. So it's very hard to find the dates on them, right? And fortunately, like I said before, most of the temples don't have inscriptions that say, I built it. This is when I built it.
Right.
This is why I built it. They don't say that. And this is the hard part of this, right? It's like me, right? You don't know anything about me. Mostly, right? Mostly you don't know anything about me, right? And they kind of bring that. Of course, I tried to learn that from them because they never talked about themselves. Instead, they let their work. Like you were looking at the Kailasa temple, like, wow, the Kailasa temple is amazing. How you don't think once about the guy who built it, right?
Right.
Because now your attention is all on on his creation.
Right. Yeah. So how big is that whole cavity in the side of that mountain, roughly?
No, can't tell you the numbers. But yeah, I've been there a few times.
Wow, look at it with the people there, man.
Yeah, now you can see the size, and you see this is the hard part, right? So you see people on the first floor, And you can see people on the second floor.
Yep.
Of course, in India, it'd be like ground floor and first floor,
Yeah.
whatever. Now, but remember this, and you can literally walk up, and to the left, if you go to the left, you can see a bridge. This is a bridge
Yep.
that goes to the balcony out in the front, right? You had to plan everything before
Yes.
you even started carving
Yes.
anything. Even before you started carving a little bit, you had to plan everything. You can't be like, okay, now we have created this. Now let me put a bridge between these structures. You can't do that, right? Because it's not, nothing is added to it.
Right. No, yeah. When you start, you have to have the final plans, just
Yep.
like the final blueprints before you even start.
Yeah.
Holy smokes! I cannot. My brain cannot even fathom
Yep.
how to even think about going about something like this.
Yeah, and you know what? If you zoom in to the carvings on the right, there are like weird animals on the right. There's like weird animals and stuff like that. Yeah, there you can see a lot of destruction. You can see a lot of like damage. Those damages were done by kings who came from the Middle East, and they tried to destroy the temple. They'd be like, "Oh, this is like infidel stuff, right?"
Right, the Islam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So they try to destroy it, and how do you destroy a temple like this? You can't.
Radical religion, man. Wow.
Yeah, but they can't. Like you can't.
Is there any of it they were able to destroy?
Some temples? Yeah, some
Yeah.
temples were destroyed. But a temple like this, how do you even begin to destroy? You would have to kind of nuke it. You'd have
Yeah.
to you'd have to throw a bomb onto it because it's impossible to destroy. Right? It's made out of one rock. The entire structure is made out of one rock, and you had to build multiple floors. You had to build bridges. You had to build these pillars, and you had to do all this flawless work. Right? And this is the macro stuff, man. But if you go there, and if you go into the second level floors, you can walk inside, and you'll see micro carvings like this. 1 or 2 inch carvings there. So it's not only the size, like the macro, it's also the micro, So they just did insane work on the temple.
And conventionally believe this is, you said, 1,500 years ago, roughly? 1,000?
1,200 to 1,400 years. That'd be the estimate of this. You typically be like, oh, this is a 7th century.
That's insane, man. Even comparing this to some of like the cathedrals, the Renaissance era cathedrals, they're like, those weren't created like that.
Am I the first Hindu that you've had?
You might be the first Hindu, yeah.
You didn't know that, huh?
Or no, no, actually you're not. We had a couple months ago, we had a guy who's practices Hindu. He's actually from Texas though. He's a white Texan.
Wow.
But he's a biblical scholar.
Wow, but he's a Hindu.
He practices, I think he practices Hindu, but he knows, he's been studying religion his whole life.
Wow.
Yeah. But other than that, no.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's good.
you were raised Hindu though.
Yeah, I was born a Hindu. I was raised a Hindu. Yeah, it's really cool. Like we do like strange things, man. We worship cows.
You worship cows, the sacred cow. Huh. And Hinduism kind of like branched off of Buddhism, is that right?
No.
No.
Hinduism is older.
Oh, it's older than Buddhism. Oh, maybe it's the reverse. I have it.
Yeah.
Buddhism came from Hinduism.
You could say that. So if you look at Lord Buddha, he got tired of too many rituals in Hinduism, and Buddha says, "No, this is too much. We gotta to have an enlightened life. We want to kind of deviate from that. We want to have a simple lifestyle, and that's how Buddhism started.
Right.
Yeah, because there's lots of rituals in Hinduism.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots.
What kind of rituals? What kind of rituals did you practice when you were growing up? Was your life like very, very religious? No? You guys didn't have like days and stuff where you'd go to the temples and
I didn't go.
You didn't
Yeah,
go.
they did. They still do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they still do.
Hmm.
And I did just, Yeah, I never took
Not a
part
fan of
in
it?
social. No, yeah, I could do it. I just wanted to make sense of it.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to make sense of why they did that, right? Why would you worship a cow? Right? It sounds kind of at face value. It sounds really. I'm sure you ate my god today for lunch.
No, not today. But last night I did for dinner.
That's what I'm saying, right? So you're eating cows, but I'm worshiping them, right? But why? How could like humans kind of think of cows as gods? Like what is the relationship? You know,
And what is it?
it's very complex. It's probably wouldn't believe it if I told you.
Try me.
So humans are here because of cows. That's kind of the theory behind it.
Humans are here because of cows.
Without the cows, humans probably wouldn't exist, right? And this is a very odd. I know this doesn't make any sense, right? But I know you love crazy stories, so I'm telling you this.
Yeah.
I went to the northeast part of India, and there are apes in India. Okay, apart from humans, right? Humans are also apes. But do you know what kind of apes are there in India? Do you know if there's like
Baboons.
chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutans? They don't exist in India.
Oh, really?
Yep. There's only one kind of ape that lives in India. That's called the gibbon.
Gibbon ape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you
It's
find
kind
that,
of a
Steve?
lesser ape. But it looks. It's very cute. It's a beautiful.
My God.
Oh, it is
animal.
cute. Look, it's adorable. Looks like it'll rip your face off too if it wanted to.
No, they're very friendly. They're kind of very.
Are they really?
Yep. They're very friendly, and they don't look like they're friendly here.
No, they don't.
But they're actually quite friendly, and you can only find them in the northeast part of India. Mm-hmm. And these gibbons, they're apes. They walk. They don't. I've never seen them on all fours. They walk very
They
much
walk
like.
upright.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep, all the time. I've not seen them, but it's been a while.
It looks like a sloth, kind of.
Yeah. You know that one is having a baby there, right?
He's got a baby like hanging on to him.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you know they live very much like a family. They a typical gibbon family if you observe them. And I spend a lot of time with them. Very much like mom, dad, two kids. That's their family.
Really?
Mom, dad, two kids. Yep. And
You don't typically have more than 2 kids?
they don't.
Okay.
And they don't have like large families either. They're like a small nuclear family.
Okay.
And if the mother dies or if the father dies, they'll find a replacement and they'll keep that 4
Wow.
member family intact. That's the only reason. For example, the male never has like multiple females in the family, which is very common among other
Other primates, yeah.
like a gorilla. It's I would imagine or a chimp. It's common, but the gibbons don't do that. The gibbons are very much like the humans in a way.
One wife.
Like almost a modern
Monogamous.
monogamous society. But since I spent a lot of time with them,
Maybe that's why he's frowning.
he's just unhappy. Huh? But since I spent a lot of time with them, I realized how similar they are to humans, right? Because we got the teenager gibbons too, right? We got single moms there too, so stuff like that.
Pull this thing a little bit closer to you.
Yeah, closer.
Yeah, that's good right there.
Yeah. So what they do, and the gibbons, the teenager gibbons, do something very odd. They wait for the there are lots of cows in India, and when the a cow's poop, right, it's called a cow pie or a cow dung. It's found all over. You'll have mushrooms growing on them. When these cow pies dry, they have mushrooms growing on them. And these are magic mushrooms. And these gibbons, especially the teenagers, they've figured out that they can eat those mushrooms and they can expand their.
Really?
Yep.
This is something they do regularly?
Yeah.
Whoa.
They're getting high and they're using the psychedelic mushrooms. And they come down from the
Steve,
tree.
that's a stock image. Just type in like gibbon, the gibbon monkeys psychedelic mushrooms.
I don't
the
think
gibbon is the type
I
of
don't think
monkey,
you'll
not the
find
mushroom.
it anywhere.
Huh?
I don't think you'll find this anywhere.
There's nothing.
I have not searched it. I'm only telling you from my personal experience
Okay.
of watching gibbons do that.
Oh, there's a gibbon mushroom I see. It's funny.
Yep. So I guess I think I'm taking you like on a roller coaster here. So I'm thinking that 50,000 years from now, the gibbons or the group of gibbons that are eating the mushrooms, they're going to be on another level than the other apes that are not eating the mushrooms. You understand that?
Yeah.
They're evolving. If they've, I think they have. There are some gibbons that have figured this out, and I watch them because they only come down from the tree when they find a dried cow pie with mushrooms on them, and they feed only on the mushrooms, and they go back, and they kind of like they just gone for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? So they're basically kind of expanding their consciousness.
Do you think the gibbons are already more evolved than other primates? Like, do they seem? I mean, you said they walk on two legs. They walk upright, right? Mm-hmm. So, do you think it's possible they already are more along the evolutionary scale than other primates?
No, but similar to like a gorilla or a chimp.
So this is like the stoned ape hypothesis happening in real time.
Mm-hmm. So the gibbons do this, and but look, I mean, is this what we did? Is this how we evolved? Right? Is this like what was the catalyst? Right?
Right.
What
yeah,
was the
that's
catalyst?
the big question, right?
Yeah, that propelled us. Was it the magic mushrooms that grew on the cow pies? Is that is that the relationship between like humans and cows? Look, I mean, think about it, right? You see where I'm getting
Yeah.
at? How did you follow, how did you create a religion like Hinduism? What would happen if you took a magic mushroom? Would you see the gods?
Yeah, I think so.
So the mushrooms were the origin of Hinduism. And that would have started from the cow. If I'm a gibbon, right? If I'm an ape, I would basically protect the cows. Because without the cows, I can't have the mushrooms.
Right. Wow, man. Now we're talking. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. I wanted to talk about the Taj Mahal stuff.
Okay. Sure.
There's some shit going on underneath the Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
In your video, you showed like there's some crazy underground layer, or there's some passages that are hidden and they're blocked off. People can't get through. And it seems like, what do you think's going on underneath the Taj Mahal?
There was a book. I think that book is called Badshah Nama. This was written about how Taj Mahal was built. This is an old book, like a few centuries old, and that book was written at the time of Taj Mahal. And they basically say the Taj Mahal was before the Taj Mahal was erected, there was a structure there, right? And they demolished it and they built Taj Mahal on top of it.
Right.
Taj Mahal is in a very nice spot. It's on the river bank of Yamuna. So it's like it makes it so much better. Shah Jahan, he's a Muslim king who built Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
He buys that piece of land on which there was a structure, and then he demolishes that structure, and he builds Taj Mahal on top of it. Okay, so that's a river, right?
Right.
Now, underneath, there are several structures, okay? And some of it has been opened now. At that time, this was probably 2016, 17, most of these structures were closed, completely closed off.
Oh,
sealed.
really?
Yep. Yep. After this video came out, and of course, it spawned a lot of other videos too, right? Because it becomes very controversial. We're like, okay, what's underneath the Taj Mahal? And then I think the archaeological department has opened some parts of it now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because of your videos.
Some.
Wow, man.
Yeah. So
So was it just to keep people safe, or was it just to like because they didn't want people going down there because it would be too costly to like renovate all that, or what do you think the reason
in
was?
India, it's all combined together. In India, history, politics, religion, they're all intertwined. Okay, it gets very intensely political because people don't just see this as history. They would combine that with religion. Like I view that Shah Jahan built it on top of a Hindu temple. That's how I think of it. Okay.
Okay.
So Shah Jahan buys a piece of land, and he realizes this is how I would do it, right? So I want to build a great structure, right? So I find a perfect spot for this. This is on the bank of River Yamuna, but there's already a temple there. So I demolish the temple and I build it on top of the temple,
Right.
right? But the remnants are still there, and we can find some of the remnants there. If you keep going,
Because the base of it's red sandstone, right, and the top of it's all white marble.
there's some discrepancy there. If you go to there you go, yeah.
Oh shit! Look at that, man. That's
And
wild.
if you see that doorway there.
Yep.
Yep.
What
So
is that doorway?
The existing structure there.
Oh, that was what's there. What was there before?
Yeah, what was there before? So we there's one guy, I think his name, there are two or three more guys who wrote about this. I took this picture from an old textbook who talks about how they could go into the doorway at a certain point. And then they started to put doors, and they now I think they've completely sealed it off. But I think it should just be common knowledge that the structure was probably built on top of an existing temple or a mansion
Right.
or a palace, which is basically a Hindu structure. Look at that, just sealed off.
Oh, they bricked it out.
Yep, just sealed off, right?
So it was
But
originally
this should
a
be
Hindu.
common. But yeah, look. The thing is, like, if you go there, if I tell you, Danny, this office is built on top of a land which was originally owned by Native Americans, it'd be normal.
I
right? It's
wouldn't
just
be
a
shocked.
fact.
Right,
It's
yeah.
just a fact,
Right.
right? Yeah. So I understand that. So that's the point of me making a video and saying, look, underneath, originally there used to be a Hindu structure.
Yeah.
Right. But it's become very controversial because it's also intensely political in India.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
They're still thinking like the history is happening today.
What an amazing structure that is.
Taj
man.
Mahal? Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I made another video saying Taj Mahal employs a lot of optical illusions. There's there's another video about Taj Mahal. If you go to my channel, it's not going to be on this video. Taj Mahal uses a lot of optical illusions and just confuses you, which is what makes you kind of like fall in love with that. Changes color according to
Really?
yep, changes color. according to the light, according to the time of the day, and the moonlight and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's if you see maybe that. Yeah, that one. See that? How many corners do you see?
2.
How many? Really? Wow.
Oh wait, on the corners
How many sides?
of that.
1, 2.
How many
3, 4.
facets? Sides.
1,
Right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, keep playing. Right.
Okay.
Keep playing 6, right?
Yep.
Oh,
It's flat. Oh my
way.
lord.
well, that's cool, man.
So he just that's the thing. So just now this is bold by
Oh, it's 3, I see.
Shah Jahan. Yeah. So it's
Wow.
kind of like it's going to appear like it has a lot of.
That's amazing.
So we don't give that much credit to the guy who built it. He actually did an amazing job, and it's even when you see this, it's very hard for you to understand this, because you still think it still has 6 sides. I use a lot of psychological tricks like this, and that's why Taj Mahal. It's probably I don't think there's anybody in the world who has not heard of Taj Mahal.
No, I don't think there's anybody who's heard of it. I mean, I bet you there's people who know like the name Taj Mahal, but can't put the picture and can't like tell you where it is.
Yes.
But like, there's sayings. If you see a fancy house, whatever, like, God damn, you got the Taj Mahal here. It's used as an adjective, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's an incredible structure. And this is what, so there's mirrors in the bathroom,
Yep.
in the ceiling.
Yep.
So when they lit candles, it would look like the cosmos.
These are the little mirrors put on the bathroom of the queen of Shah Jahan, the guy who built it. So when the queen went into the bathroom, Shah Jahan could look at 1,000 images of the queen
Right.
in the bathtub.
1,000 images of her bathing. It's beautiful, man. It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, there are lots of mysteries in India. I think
And there's a tunnel supposedly under here that links to another.
many. I think
Many tunnels, really?
Yes. Yes, many tunnels. I don't know. Yeah, Taj Mahal is a very beautiful monument.
Imagine
Oh,
building that.
you know what they did when India went to war with Pakistan. You know what they did? They had to cover up the Taj Mahal because Pakistan said they would bomb
Really?
if you.
I gotta find
What did they
this.
cover it with? What did they cover
Taj
it with?
Mahal covered Pakistan war, something like that. Pakistan.
In 1942.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is not the Pakistan. I'm sorry. I got. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. It's not the Pakistan. It's probably the war with Germany.
Oh, World
Yeah,
War II.
The World War II. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah. Because India,
They had to cover this up because
what is around it? Is it scaffolding?
Yeah, it just looks like renovation.
Yeah, this
stuff.
looks like
no,
renovation.
probably find another.
Well,
picture. I
that was
found-
the link back there. So it's amid fear of potential air raids, British Army used bamboo to cover the Taj Mahal's dome, attempting to make the onion-shaped design resemble
Something.
Oh, 90 war with Pakistan. Yeah, that one. I think that's.
Resembled nothing more than a pile of vegetation. Oh, okay. So that wasn't scaffolding. That was actually bamboo they used to make it look different from the air.
Yeah, I saw another picture, man. That was yeah. Look at no, the next one. I don't know.
Oh, this thing?
Yep.
Dude. Oh. Well, that does look more
Yeah,
like
they-
camo, doesn't it?
During
They-
World War II.
They kind of like
Let's see what they got.
yeah.
Okay. Thanks, guys. It's just a never ending. I hate it when that happens.
Wild, man.
Yeah, I saw other pictures where they put a lot of like stuff on that, but I can't find it now.
Do they use those Is it all marble inside the Taj Mahal, or are there multiple different stones? Do they use any of those
There are
those
different stones.
They use those floating rocks too, or no?
No.
That's only in temples.
No floating rocks. Yeah,
Okay.
that's only in certain temples.
Okay.
In Taj Mahal, it appears as though it's full of white marble, but it's not.
Okay.
It's very cleverly done, so you only see the white marbles. But inside there are several structures.
Well, what is that?
Underneath?
Foundation fears.
This is underneath it.
Oh my goodness.
So there's a brick structure. What does that say? It says well foundation.
Well, foundation. The Taj is built on gigantic wooden slabs atop a well foundation to stabilize the riverbank sand. Rows of columns and archways keep it from sliding into the river. So, and that's
Amazing.
pointing to this thing right there, the brick section.
And is it a theory or is it real that there's actually tombs under there with the king
Well, of the
or the queen?
Yeah. They say it's still there.
They say it's still
opened
there.
They've opened it up now. I haven't checked, but
Mm-hmm.
they've opened up. There's an underground chamber. When I went there, they said no, nobody's allowed.
Oh, okay.
But now it's become quite controversial, I think. So they had to open it. It's weird because the queen's chamber, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, underground, yep.
Is it this thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
You can see those, and you can see a bunch of people there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you'd see it today. But this is not underground. This is
That's in the
at the
main-
ground level.
Right.
Right.
And they say there's an underground thing. It's a replica.
Oh, really? Oh, this is a replica.
Yeah, this is a replica.
Oh, what's underneath?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.